Kakarot. It's up to you. You must avenge the Saiyans and planet Vegeta.
Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Trip Around Multiverse with your host, the villain who decided to clone his children, to cybernate my children to end a grudge that ended in 2 seconds. Carl Charles and
the man whose attack moves are all ice cream based, CY Chung.
whose attacks with all ice cream based?
You know Raditz, right? It's all his special moves,
yeah.
double ice cream sundae and all that stuff.
I legit didn't. That makes sense now. That makes all the sense. I didn't think of that at all. I just thought it was stupid.
okay. So firstly, I think it actually is the first. So we're gonna go through Dragon Ball Z villains today.
Yeah.
Not all the villains, just like key particular villains in the sagas.
Yeah.
First one, of course, being Raditz, because he sets off the entire side. Well, you know what? He sets off this entire portion of Z all the way to, if he never arrived on Earth, then nothing would have happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, his special moves are kind of wacky. So you're saying, right?
Mm.
You're saying that you thought he was just a dunce.
No, I just thought it was random. I didn't spot the connection with all them. I was like, double Sunday. I'm confused by all this. All right.
Yeah.
Sure. But it makes sense.
It didn't like you. It's like, and none of this made sense because it's just a bit weird shouting these sort of things in the middle of a fight.
Yeah.
But when you look at it, like, okay, the Saiyans are all named after vegetables, all right.
Yeah.
And then you got Piccolo's named after, like, you got Tambourine and Drum and all that stuff, and you're like, all right. And Yamcha and Tien are named after food.
Yeah. All
okay.
Makes
I don't,
sense. Yeah.
All of the what's his name? What's that? I forgot the people from the Justice Force. I can't remember their name in the Super.
I forgot the names as well.
But they're all named after kitchen appliances.
That makes sense now as well.
Yeah, so I'm like, all right, Toriyama, I get. You're kind of all right if you say so, Yeah. I mean, who can tell you what you're gonna tell your characters to do?
Yeah, you create it. You choose what you want to weirdly call them. Yeah, I can't say nothing.
But Raditz, as we know him, he came in right, all like with bluster, and then he's just a super coward.
Yep.
He's like a bully. He's like, all right, yeah, my power level. Okay, first of all, power levels are wacky, right?
Yeah.
Nicely. Yeah, I don't know how 1,000 power level, right? And he was faster than light, quote unquote. That's what Piccolo said, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you get to power level over 1 million.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so how fast are they if they're already?
They're so fast they moved yesterday, sort of thing.
yeah.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
That's right. Yeah. So, what do you think of Raditz as a character?
Terrible.
He
literally just cannon fodder to move the plot along. Like, yeah, I'm your brother, and then we'll never get mentioned.
He came in like, oh yeah, I'm the big man's, right? I'm the bad man's. Yeah. And then when you realize actually he's such low end of the food chain for people going forward.
Yep.
And his personality as well. Like, oh yeah, come brother. Trying to be, all right. If I can't get you to join me willingly, I'll beat you up and take you. Or kidnap you, your son, or all this stuff.
Because that works, I guess,
Yeah, and then when he finds himself on a back foot, he's like, "No, please, no!" Super coward, Ric Flair maneuvers. Yeah. I'm like, all right, begging off, okay. Yeah. I don't think he has much character per se either. He came in, like you said, to do the thing he needed to do, and then that's it.
Yeah, literally, that is it.
Like, I know we get to the people characters later on. Like Vegeta's got massive character development, even though his personality is still the same, right? Fair enough. And Bardock gets some retcon character establishment, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But this dude, and I would say, would you say Nappa as well? They don't really get nothing.
No, they literally just like I said, cannon fodder. That's it. They're
Well,
like, oh,
no, I see. I can get it with Nappa, right?
yeah,
But this is Goku's brother.
yeah.
You'd have thought there's something more to it other than, yeah.
You know, I just realized what's worse about this as well.
What?
All right, so you know the whole kind of retcon Bardock to be more of a better person and all that stuff, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And when he dies and stuff, and he's like, "Goku, like Kakarot, you'll be the savior." Blah blah blah. Doesn't mention Raditz whatsoever.
Oh no.
It's like, oh, okay, so you just get like one son.
Yep,
Sure.
yep. He had that one significant role, and then after that, he's just like trash.
Yeah, literally. He just
He was I wouldn't even say a jobber to the stars because he's
No.
not known for anything afterwards.
he was
You know, he
placeholder.
didn't-
Literally, that's what it was.
Yeah. He set the story in motion, and then
Never
that's
spoke
it.
about again.
Never heard of him again.
Never mentioned, brought back, nothing. No.
What do you think of Nappa?
Nappa was a bit better because he actually did stuff. You know,
Yeah.
he murdered many of them.
he murdered almost the entire team, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
he did.
he came in, and he did stuff like you said, yeah.
Yeah.
Raditz, he tried to beat up Piccolo and he tried to beat up Goku.
Yeah.
Well, no, he beat them both up separately. No, he didn't beat up Piccolo, but Piccolo got kind of afraid of him,
Yeah.
and then he beat up Goku, and then because he had to fight both of them, he's like, yeah. But then that because their power levels are so low, I wouldn't say necessarily he seemed like they were any threat to him, right? They'd power up by the point they fight Nappa, and somehow their power levels increased quite a lot from the 6 months of training they had.
Yeah.
Which is like, okay, so you're telling me Goku trained from when he was 12 to 24, whatever he is,
Yeah.
at this point? 18? 22. He trained at least 10 years, yeah?
Yeah.
And he was only power level 400 plus, right? Not even 500, yep. Except for when he's doing his Kamehameha, which I like that what they did there is they had the power level increase because it's concentrated in the blast.
Yeah.
Yeah, same with the special beam cannon, where it's like, okay, Piccolo's got power level of whatever number it is, right?
Yeah.
But when when that blast itself has a power level of something, some other ungodly level.
Yeah.
But yeah. So if you're telling me 6 months they managed to train and be beyond Raditz's power, what?
Yeah. Well, they did use the Wait, did they use the hyperbolic time? They used some weird.
No. Remember, it was Piccolo kidnapped Goku and Gohan, and then they trained. He trained by beating the little kid up for.
Yeah, not
months.
him. I mean, like Yamcha and all that. They went and trained with like Kami and some.
Yeah, I don't think they
knockoff sort of hyperbolic time chamber. Wasn't a hyperbolic time chamber.
Was it that kind of what's it called? The thing that was above the earth. I can't remember what they called it. Kami's tower.
Yeah, they trained there. And they went to some weird place,
yeah.
and they fought some made up Saiyans in some dream thing. Yeah,
the visions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. So Nappa himself, what do you think of him as a character? Like, does he have any? Do you? I kind of just remember him as if Vegeta died, right? Then I don't think you'd remember Nappa. You only remember Nappa. You do remember Nappa done significant stuff because he actually beat up a lot of the Z team, yeah. And Chaozu blew himself up trying to kill Nappa, right?
Yeah.
And Nappa's just been Nappa just taunting them all the time, right?
Yeah.
It's like, Nappa, please, just you can put them out of misery, Nappa. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm actually gonna just keep on going. And I'm like, oh jeez. Yeah, and then when he got his back broken, and then thrown up in the sky, Vegeta, come help me. And Vegeta grabs his leg and just
throws
up in the sky and then blasts him, and that's it.
That's one of the moments on Vegeta. You going about how the Saiyan race is all this, and then there's like about 5 of you in the world, and you just go and kill one. Awesome.
But that moment there made me think, oh, Vegeta, you're quite a piece of work. You are, right? But he gave him this, like, he's just sitting back waiting for. He's like, Nappa, just beat these people up, right? Beat them up, but don't kill them, because I want this Goku character to come along here, and we can fight him.
Yeah.
Whenever he comes back, because they praise be Goku is the greatest, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's his character up, and then once he just blows up Nappa, you're like, okay,
Sure, yeah.
I see. Yeah. As far as the saga goes, like them as the 3 villains of the saga, you like, what did you think?
Vegeta is the only sort of good one out of him. Nappa did I did like Nappa for what he was, but like after this, literally you'd forget about him.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
no lasting effect.
Yeah, I wouldn't say they have no character, yeah, but would you have swapped Raditz and Nappa's places? Not necessarily like when I say places, not as their power levels are, but if Nappa came first and his power level was lower, and then you had Raditz come with Vegeta.
Nah.
Yeah, because I think it might have made a bit more sense that Goku's brother is then one of his nemesis after he established how powerful the Saiyans are.
I don't know, because it kind of makes sense for Radish to be the weak one they send first, because he's a lower class Saiyan compared to like Vegeta and Nappa. So I was like, it makes sense to send him first, let him die. No one cares.
I suppose. I mean, that's what they. Well, here's the thing, right? Going by logic, yeah.
Yeah.
And the Zenkai boost, right?
Yeah.
Vegeta and Nappa must have had quite a decent amount of fights because their power level is very high compared to Raditz, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Raditz is like 1,200. I think Nappa's like 4,500 or something like that.
Yeah.
And Vegeta's is like 9,000. No, on 18. No.
Is it 18,000? I don't know.
No, because it's got to be over 9,000 to triple that, because he had to 4 times Kaioken. 25?
Oh, probably, yeah.
Something like that. Anyways, yeah, so by all logic, people are saying, and Raditz being the coward he is, all he did was hide when the fights were getting a bit too much. He's like, I'm just gonna hide over here, and then after that, he's just like, when everyone's like down on the ground, he's like, yeah, pew pew. I'll kill that guy. I'll kill that guy. You know.
Yeah.
So his power level doesn't rise over a certain level because he's just avoiding fights.
Because he's terrible.
Yeah. but do you think like there was a lasting impression from Nappa after this, or would you say same as Raditz? He's just there to be there.
Just there to be there.
Yeah.
Just like
I mean, like to be fair, they have character, but they're kind of more stock than anything else.
Yeah.
In fact, these two are almost the same type of character.
No,
Okay. Raditz is more cowardly, but what I'm saying is like, oh yeah, we're gonna bully these people, we're gonna gloat, and we're gonna beat them up. You know?
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Terrible.
So Vegeta, our heel who turns face. Do you prefer him as a heel?
Nah, he was kind of like repetitive, in my opinion, and just like the same thing. Blah 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 blah.
Actually, you know what though? To be fair, it took a long while for like from this saga. Even I would say during the Frieza saga, he was more of a tweener.
Yeah.
And then in the Cell saga, would you say he's a face, or would you say
I'd say he's a face, but he doesn't want to say he's a face, so he tries to still like be angsty and edgy, but you know he's
but it took him that long to turn.
Yeah.
So yeah, do you ever see when you watch it, right, and you're like, this guy's such a heartless bastard, right?
Yeah.
But then he gets beat up and humbled by people more powerful than him.
Yep.
And even though he doesn't save people for their own good, he does it for his own benefit.
Yeah.
Because but gradually, you kind of like how many episodes before you were like, oh yeah, actually Vegeta's a pretty good character?
It was until when he gets killed by Frieza. I was like, you know what? Yeah, he's a good character.
Oh, you mean like so when he was like when he professed, "I am now the Super Saiyan."
No, after that, when he got humbled, and then he's literally dying, and he's like to Goku, "Avenge our Saiyan race," and goes on for ages, and then Frieza shoots him and tells him to shut up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what? I have to say because to be fair, he did get humiliated, right? And then you kind of side with him because you're like, oh, come on. In the sense like you're saying, it's like, wow, he might be out of order, yeah.
Yeah.
They've done a lot of bad things, but he's actually had it bad himself at this point now.
Yeah.
You
kind of give it. You know what? Yeah.
But do you prefer it? Like, okay, would it be like? Would you think how different do you think the series would have been if he's just stayed a bad guy? So let's just say he got the Dragon Balls and he helped. He got killed by Frieza, yeah, at that point. Then when he got resurrected, and then he's like, instead of saying, you know how it is, like, I'm going to train to be whatever, he's still beefing with Goku, and then maybe appeal a couple of times to try and fight them again. or do you think the way that he went is the best way? It's the more natural way.
Yeah, I think the more natural and like less contradicting and weird way is the way they went.
Yeah. Well, no. From this point, I mean, like, so when they hit the Majin Buu Saga,
yeah,
right, and Vegeta's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna let Babidi possess me so I can be more powerful than Goku. Did that make sense to you, or did you think, okay?
He was at peace knowing that he was the second strongest in the universe as Goku was dead, and Goku comes back and he finds that Goku's stronger than him.
Yeah,
it kind of makes sense for him to let his ego let him do something like that, which he thought that he could overcome. Because technically he did, didn't he? He didn't really get taken over. He just done it to get the power.
Yeah. I think it was kind of funny as well. At that point, you're saying he's the second strongest because Gohan was the strongest. Well, no, I mean, would you say he is the strongest at that point? At that point, I think Goku, like you're saying, he's dead, right?
Yeah.
Gohan was the strongest, but he didn't train. So, and Vegeta secretly can go to Super Saiyan level 2.
No, because he needed Babidi to control him so he could go Super Saiyan 2.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought. Okay, from what I remember, he trained that to get to Super Saiyan level 2 at some point in the time gap.
No. That's why he even says that's why he let Babidi control take over him.
No, I thought he let Babidi possess him to boost his powers.
Because I think even before that,
to be fair, from what we remember, maybe we both have the different interpretations of the same thing.
Because I think even in that, he says that Gohan's stronger than him.
Oh, okay.
Well,
maybe. Like I can't. You know what? I can't remember exactly all of that.
Cause that's like why, like in all the games, you can only go Super Saiyan 2 with Vegeta if you go Majin Vegeta.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Maybe that's a game mechanic thing. I don't know. To be fair, all right. Well, maybe you know what? I don't. Okay. Well, it's bad to say. Oh, I don't recall. Yeah, but it's like I can't. I don't recall that specific bit. Maybe we're just looking at it like from different parts.
Could be. Yeah.
But I thought it was just to boost his power level so he could be like more equivalent to Goku when they're having more powerful than Goku, so he can win their fight or something like that. You know. But I guess if you say, you boost your power level to boost him into Super Saiyan 2, which also makes sense. They just don't. I don't think they clarify one way or the other specifically.
Yeah.
But did you think? Okay. So what is funny is they had their one match, right? Which that is like during the saga, yeah, when Goku went Super Saiyan. Oh, sorry, Kaioken times 4, right? And even then, I don't think he defeated Vegeta because his body was spasming afterwards.
No, he didn't. Vegeta. No, he only basically won because of his tail getting cut and then him getting that. No, He only won
Yeah.
basically because he got crushed by
Gohan.
yeah.
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 Which is kind of funny because then like for some reason Vegeta's like, oh yeah, I need to defeat Goku. I need to defeat him, right?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, but Vegeta, he's never beaten you. What's that about?
Yeah. Never.
Yeah, but I think it's also it's one of those things where like we as viewers kind of assume that Goku's more powerful than him, even him himself, because Goku somehow managed to beat all the people that he can't beat.
Yeah.
You just though if it was a pro wrestling match, Vegeta would be like, yeah, you beat all those, but you can't never beat me.
Yeah.
You know?
It would be that, innit?
Yeah. He should have just done that, and he just had his pride himself and go, nah, I'm not going to fight you again. I'm not going to fight you again. You don't deserve it. Even though he's running scared.
Yeah. I'll get you next time, and never does.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, but at the villain of that particular, well, say the end boss of that particular level.
Yeah.
What did you think of him?
Yeah, he was good. Trying to think. I'm trying to remember now. Yeah, it was good. It wasn't as long as I thought it was gonna be. The whole bit.
Yeah. Well, literally, the entire story is, all right. They're gonna come to fight. We come to take you to join our force, to our group. Yep.
Yeah.
Nah, ain't gonna happen. All right, let's fight. All right, now you defeat me. There's gonna be other people coming to defeat you in 6 months' time. All right, let's fight.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a paragraph.
Yeah.
Which probably was about 50 episodes.
Yeah, and then he just goes away.
Yeah. To be fair as well, I think they.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as we're like, oh yeah, Goku wins all the time.
Yeah.
He actually had a lot of. Vegeta had a lot of protection for this fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All the other sea fighters, they're a bunch of jabronis. Fair enough. Yeah. They weren't even involved in this fight. But Goku's Kaioken, but the ability he got taught by a lower tier god, and and then his son and Yajirobe, and Krillin also come and beat up Vegeta.
Yeah.
If this was a pro wrestling match, it would have been a disqualification on Vegeta's part.
Yeah, it would have been, yeah, but
Yeah.
it was a whatever,
Did you think though that they were gonna have Vegeta killed at the end of the? Like, I know where Krillin was had the sword and he was gonna slice Vegeta or whatever he was gonna do.
he's gonna murder him. Yeah.
Yeah. Would you have preferred that, like logically, as the end to cap off that story, or do you think the way they went was? I know it was better overall, but I would say, are you logical or the natural progression?
I prefer natural correction because if he killed him, like, what really would have happened next? Like, obviously, the whole Frieza saga and stuff like that, but then it wouldn't be as good as it was. You know what I mean?
I have to say as well, going by the logic of when you look back in Dragon Ball, and Goku's like, yeah, I'm gonna beat these people up, even though they nearly destroyed the Earth or whatever, right? Murdered all my friends. No. It's cool. We'll fight again at some point, right? I'll let you live. Like, wait a minute, Goku. You understand, right? Mm-hmm. These people are destroying the world. And you're like, yeah, but they put up a good fight.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, some of these people don't even play by the same rules that you play by.
No.
So, yeah.
That's why it's...
And if these people come back even more powerful than ever.
Yeah, that's why...
How are you going to be capable of defeating Hana just wants a good fight? I do. And like, all right. I mean, boy, you ain't particularly practical.
Yeah, that's why some of like Goku's logic sometimes is like, we should have thought about that a lot longer. But okay, sure.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So I think what would you say is the next set of villains? Would it be the Ginyu Force?
Yeah, because they're the ones that really matter, for that, to be honest.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, obviously, we're not gonna go through the ones that are like fake Namek and all that stuff, right? The Garlic Junior and stuff like that. It's like,
don't need that. Don't need Zarbon and Dodoria because they do nothing.
Yeah, I think, like, I have to say, the Ginyu Force I enjoy because they were fresh, right?
Yeah. They were fresh and different. Yeah.
They did their silly musical themes. They probably came out like the Super Sentai Power Rangers stuff like that. It's like, all right, okay, they're kind of a parody, but not.
Yeah.
And I don't know why Captain Ginyu, I believe it was Captain Ginyu, doing the Bobby Lashley glutes pose.
Oh yeah, those poses were the best.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's why I was like, oh, you know what? I enjoy these guys. They're dumb and silly.
Yeah, they're
I
dumb,
don't hate
silly,
them.
entertaining.
Yeah. Jace being Australian in some cuts and not Australian in other cuts, so
Yeah,
that was kind of
that was hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah. Any particular that stand out to you?
Raccoon, because he did beams from his mouth, which made no sense to me. Yeah.
Raccoon also for other reasons because I actually let's go through them, right, because I think and I was gonna Raccoon as well, but he's more towards the end of it, right?
Yeah.
Because then we might say minor things about the other people.
Yeah.
Goldo, right? This is the guy who could freeze time and he had blinky eyes on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he could basically, if he hold his breath, that's how long he could freeze time for.
Yeah. Which is quite.
And I only remember part like him just running away and stuff, like freezing time and running away and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
But it's weird because I do believe that these people can move faster than time as themselves. Like,
Yeah.
if you remember, I don't know if you ever watched the first tournament, but Krillin and Master Roshi are fighting, and Krillin managed to do a back. They jump in the air, and it looks like all they did was a backflip.
Yeah.
But no, they did like in that split second, they did like 12 other moves or something like that, right? A parry, counter, all this craziness. And you're like, all right, and they're not even at the speed that Raditz is at. So this guy holding his breath, freezing time. Okay, I mean, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
If you have to get to that point. To stop these people moving at that speed, fair enough.
Yeah, it kind of makes no sense, but this is
from what I remember.
I love it.
Which version did you? Okay, you probably right. So you know there's different versions of Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
I don't know particularly which version I watched it. I think this was on the children. What's it? The Toonami? No, hold on. What's the children's?
And then it went to the Cartoon Network. Toonami is the same thing, but yeah, I watched it on Cartoon Network.
So I think it was the one after school. And when Gohan was getting beaten up, like Goldo would freeze time and then he just beat up Gohan.
Yeah.
And instead of seeing like when I watched the Chinese version, I believe you saw him get beat up.
Yeah.
And then when I saw it on TV, the UK version or American version, whatever it was, it had like sparkly stars or whatever covering Gohan getting beat up. I'm like, all right. No one wants to see a 40-year-old get beat up, right, on TV, but or maybe I'm just misremembering. You know, like when you're watching, you're like, this seems a bit of censorship going on here.
Yeah, I can't remember now. I think it kind of like cut out, sort of, or skip a frame when he was getting hit by like an adult, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
All right. So next is our boy Raccoon. Yeah.
Yeah. Raccoon.
All right. This guy, I remember because he's his stupid haircut first of all, right?
Yeah.
And he's a dunce.
Yes.
And they do all these stupid poses and everything. I'm in on the joke now, but when I was watching that time, I was like, this guy.
Yeah, I think I was too young to understand it.
Yeah.
The jokes. Yeah.
Also funny when he got. I think when Goku hit him and he fell on the floor, you know, with his butt in the air.
Yeah.
And then Vegeta from the sky is just like, yeah, I'm just gonna blast him. I'm gonna blast him like so undignified.
Yeah. Kill him before he gets a chance. Yeah, that was hilarious. That's why he sticks out to me. His death as well. Yeah.
Vegeta got beat up by Raccoon, and then he's just like, I'm gonna have the finishing blow.
Yep.
I'm gonna get him good for all the beatings he was giving me.
Yeah, you know, get him back, I guess.
Yeah. And what about do you remember anything from Barter or Jace? Jace just being Australian is the only thing I remember.
Yeah, I remember that they were both fast. They did like a combination move where it was like red and blue just going across the screen. That's literally.
Yeah. And I remember that Goku was even faster than them.
Yeah, I remember how
I-
Jace. No, not Jace. What's his face? Barter. I think that's his name. Yeah, how he died when Vegeta just jumped on his throat. Yeah, that was the only remembering thing about him as well. That's all I remember.
Yeah, it's funny how basically Krillin with his potential unlocked, well, not potential unlocked, but potential boost, or whatever you want to call it. Gohan with potential boost, and Vegeta, they all got beat up by the lower tier members of the Ginyu Force.
Yeah.
And it's quite jokes now when you look at it. Gohan was some crazy level, right?
Yeah.
For a kid that's 4 years old.
Yep.
Okay. He's more powerful than when Raditz appeared. And
Yeah.
Raditz is a fully grown man.
Yep.
Probably about 24, 25 or whatever.
Well, it depends how many years older he is. But yeah, roughly 20-something. Yeah. Who has been apparently around the world destroying things. I mean, that doesn't make any... Sure. This is when, like, I always think about it now. Like, when I look back at, like, early Dragon Ball Z, it's stupid. Like, as soon as, like, when you, like, think about power levels and these transformations and stuff, we're literally now, they're, like, if they were counting, these people were in the, like, power levels of billions or whatever. And back then, you had, like, someone who's, like, 9,000 was, like, a world threat.
Yes.
It's a joke.
Yes.
It's just so stupid.
That's why I'm glad they got rid of power levels.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fine when they had them to gauge on something, but I do prefer them having being able to sense chi thing, because you don't need to put a number on it. It's just higher or lower depending, you know, or I'm pretty close to their number or whatever, or they're hiding it.
Yeah.
They've adjusted their level, you know, all that.
I personally think that they did the power level with him because if I'm correct on this, I think originally wasn't it the plan was it was to end after the Frieza saga, so I think that's why they sort of introduced the power level stuff, and then they realized they're not ending it, and then they're like, okay, we kind of like have to hire someone to keep continuity, and we're not doing that, so let's just pretend power levels don't exist anymore, and then boom, out of existence, which makes sense.
Yeah. We'll get to you. Yeah, like okay. Yeah, not to skip ahead because it's going to be pretty close. And we'll speak about where, like you were saying about where you think the story was going to end at the end of the Frieza saga.
Yeah.
But right now we've got to speak about Captain Ginyu because he's the next one.
Ginyu. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember him because his body swap.
Yeah.
And then he got put into a frog. So he sees Goku's power level on his scouter.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's like, "Yep, I'm gonna jump into that man's body." Jumps to Goku's body, and his power level just drops down because like he don't know how to use the body to its utmost potential. And then Vegeta's like, "Ah, yes, all right, I'm gonna beat up Goku again, even though it's someone else in Goku's body." But yeah, this is how we're gonna go.
Yeah.
And he even gets Gohan to try and beat him up as well.
Yeah, he does.
And then Gohan has that vision of Goku in Captain Ginyu's body as his dad.
Yeah. Daddy. Yeah.
And then how quite neat was Captain Ginyu. Well, so before he jumped himself into Goku's body, he hurt himself, so his body was dying.
Yeah.
Then he jumped. Then he did the mouth swap with Goku. And then Goku tricked him into. Was he trying to take over Vegeta's body?
Yeah, so he was in. Yeah, he was in Goku's body, but because he couldn't, if I remember correctly, channel his power that much, so he wasn't as strong as Vegeta. So he was letting Vegeta bat the crap out of Goku's body.
Yeah.
So then he can swap.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then.
But then he swapped. I think did he swap back into his own body?
No, he tried. No, he went to jump into Goku's body, then Krillin or Gohan threw the frog, and that's how he got into the frog body. And then his body has still got the frog in it.
Yeah, until Super, of course.
Yeah. Which is hilarious.
But yeah, I was like, okay, I guess it's kind of it switches things up. It's a bit neat. It's like, all right, how do you deal with people that have different abilities? Because like at a certain point, at certain these guys can just brute force power over anyone that can have force blasts. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, Captain Gimmy's got a different gimmick. Nice. Let's see how that works for him, and then how much smarter they are. Because it's good though. Like, all right, fair enough. We know that he's in Goku's body, but there's got to be not repercussions, but it's like, okay, something fishy, you know?
Yeah.
Something different.
Yeah.
So
it was different. Yeah.
I don't know how that frog got onto Earth. Did he jump onto the spaceship back onto? No.
Oh, I know how he got to Earth. When they wished everyone on Namek to Earth. That's how that.
No. Yeah. So didn't they resurrect everyone that Frieza killed?
Yeah. No, I think they resurrect everyone that Frieza killed, and then the second.
And then teleport everyone off the planet,
apart from Goku and Frieza. Yeah.
Okay. And that includes Captain Ginyu, but then in the frog body.
Yeah.
But then why is there no other animals or whatever on Namek?
They could be because our Earth or that Earth in there has some weird animals in it, so who knows? There's dinosaurs, which makes no sense either. But yeah, who knows?
I think it was also funny as well when the Ginyu Force reappear a bit later on in the Hell for Infinite Losers.
Yeah.
And they go to that King Kai's planet. Yeah. And this is where the Z Fighters are also dead.
Yeah.
From where Nappa killed them, right?
Yeah.
All the way back then. So they've been training since then. The Ginyu Force being super powerful. And somehow the Z Fighters make a mockery of them. You're like, wait a minute.
Because they've been training on 100 levels times gravity.
Or whatever they are, that somehow.
Yeah.
But then you got to think that's kind of like, okay, so if they train to that level of power.
Yeah.
At that point in time, over that period of time, then why is Piccolo sitting in a huff instead of training with them?
Yeah.
When you sitting in a huff, waiting to get wished back onto Namek to fight Frieza, right? Yeah. Or for your health or whatever.
Yeah, makes no sense.
Yeah,
but I do think that.
Well, I think it's partially because he was too proud to, not necessarily proud, but he's like, I'll train my way. He's like, yeah, but that might not be the best way. But he was less agreeable at that point.
Because isn't it like kind of hinting to that King Kai brought them there to test them lot? That's why they got to like King Kai's planet so quick.
Well, yeah, when you apply the logic of that, right? When you say got there so quick, what you mean is they needed to go there for the story, but they didn't have the amount of time that it took Goku to get from that point to that point.
Yeah. Because I think he even says that, like afterwards, he kind of hints that he brought them there to test the Z Fighters and their strength.
It's a bit like how Gohan can fly at 4 years old, and Goku could not fly until he was 18.
Yeah.
Story purposes.
Yep. We need to move the story along.
Yeah. Well, we need to power other people to a certain degree, or get them to have their base powers. Because if they don't, then it's a bit weird.
Yeah, and we got to spend hours explaining it.
Yeah.
We don't have that. Yeah.
It's just moving along, and just hope nobody notices.
Yeah.
All right.
Sure. Oh, that's hilarious.
So then we're on to Frieza himself.
Yep. Lord Frieza.
Yeah. I wasn't okay. The pink form, the first form. Well, no. Yeah. No. I wouldn't say it's the first form. The first cap, right?
Yeah.
More like what did he looked like a worm to me. Like,
yeah, he did.
It's the skin parts, It's just yeah.
Wasn't that?
But did he look like a big threat or anything like that? What did you think?
He looked the opposite to me. He's just some little dude in a flying wheelchair thing. He ain't Professor Xavier. Yeah. That's what I felt.
Yeah. I will say first form looked kind of tame.
Yeah.
Second form, the alien form, the xenomorph form, looked too weird for me. I didn't get it. I mean, I got it, but I didn't get it. If you.
Yeah, I get you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that was particularly memorable, anyways.
No. Yeah, it's kind of forgettable. Yeah. His next form, I did like the Xenomorph looking form.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
No, that's the one we're speaking about, right?
Wait, is that the second one?
That's the second form.
Isn't the second one where he just looks the same but taller?
Oh, isn't that his third one? Oh no, yeah. Sorry. Yep.
Yeah, because thinking that it kind of goes backwards if that's the case. Like he's.
Oh no, sorry. Yeah, I got my forms mixed up. Only because the big one, like the Xenomorph one, is smaller.
Yeah.
And then the big one is taller, so I just assume we went that direction.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, you're saying
Yeah, I like the Xenomorph one. That was pretty cool. Bing, 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 bing. Yeah.
It looked weird, but it looked like it was a Xenomorph just to be for the sake of being a Xenomorph.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the writer at the time, like, he must have recently watched Alien.
Yeah.
And like, hey, you know what I can do? An alien, and he did an alien. Like, oh, okay.
He did an alien that turns into an alien. Yeah. All right.
Sure.
I mean, yeah, if you say so.
Because like, if you think about it, when we get to the next set of villains, you could tell he recently got into like American movies. I'll explain afterwards, but yeah. Oh, he's hilarious.
Yeah, I think we remember the Xenomorph form because it's a ripoff.
Yeah.
And it looked like a crab. I want to say crabby, but a bit strange as well.
Yeah. It was rather weird.
The third form, which is the larger form, the steroid form.
Yep.
The Super Shredder form, right?
Yes, that's the best way of putting it. Yeah.
How what did you think about that?
It was alright.
Yeah.
It
was not. I don't want to say it's nothing special, but his final form was definitely something because he looked like a ghost.
Yeah.
He looked like a Silver Surfer.
I just found it hilarious that he went from like being all big and massive to something really small when like streamlined, and it was like the most terrifying thing when you think about it.
Oh yeah, because it's all white as well, all silver white, or whatever you want to call it. You know.
He was crazy.
What did you think of him overall as a villain?
Overall, as a villain, he was good, but I like the Frieza Saga and everything, but sometimes I think it went on a bit too long.
Yeah. When you say it went on a bit too long, do you mean the 5 minutes on Namek?
Yes, which ended up being like 12 episodes. What it was? I might be exaggerating. I may not be, but yeah.
Well, you might be underplaying it. Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, stuff like that. It's like, oh, okay, it's a bit. You get it, you know. Goku's gonna win at some point. How long are we gonna take to do this?
Yeah,
cool.
I think Frieza played this part by being like you're saying, Professor X in the wheelchair for most of the entire saga up to that point.
Yeah.
And then he decides that, actually, you know, I'm going to get off my chair and finally do something.
Yeah, start murdering everyone.
Oh, no, sorry. I say Professor X. I meant Vanos. Vanos on his chair. Because that's why...
basically,
that's what... You just sit down and let all the other movies happen and go, you know what, finally, you know, they've come to me, I'll just step up, you know?
Yeah. But, and
I think he came in as he ended. That's the best way I can put it. He stayed consistent throughout all of that. It, like, slimy all the way through.
Yeah.
Just like, it's like, oh yeah, well, I could destroy all sorts, you know. I'm kind of a bit more casual. And then when he got to the point where actually I got to fight, he
messed stuff up. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if he just changed into his final form right away, that'd have been, he just saved himself a lot of trouble.
Yeah. That would have been very anticlimactic. But yeah. He could have saved himself a lot of problems. Yeah.
Did you prefer, like, did you want him to come back? Were you thinking, okay, this is how the story ends? Fair enough.
Yeah. I was kind of happy how it ended, but then I didn't mind, I'll say, brief cameo in Trunks' episode. Yeah, I didn't mind that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he could have just gone off.
Do you think, like you were saying before, the whole saga should have finished? That portion of Z, were you saying should have finished, or?
I don't personally think it should have, but I remember hearing that's what the original plan was.
Yeah. I think it makes sense.
Yeah,
Not to say that's where he should have ended it,
Yeah.
or anything like that, but it kind of made sense as a natural conclusion to the whole story is about the old Super Saiyan, right, of Legend.
Yeah.
So once Goku becomes the Super Saiyan of Legend, not necessarily there's no more story to tell, but you've avenged your planet, your family, and stuff like that. It seems like a natural endpoint.
Yeah, it does.
Except they obviously decide, oh yeah, by the way, Goku's still got to come back to Earth. So yeah, let's. I don't know what we're gonna do about that.
Yeah, because that would have been a weird way to end it. Yeah, Goku's just still in space.
Yeah.
Okay, and he's left his wife and a small child. Okay, sure.
Did you think, as far as you're watching it, it was a late in the game continuation?
Yeah. I think it might have been, because that kind of makes sense thinking about it that way.
Or did you think, go on?
I think originally, like you're saying, because it's weekly, isn't it, when they're actually doing it? So
I think so.
He probably started writing half of the Frieza fight and then realized, wait, how we're getting extended or whatever. I need to write in some way to extend this. Let's not have Goku go home. Let's have him go to stay in space for a while.
Yeah. Or, logically speaking, okay, fair enough, he had to get in that pod.
Yeah.
And when they get home, and then you could have months later, he comes back, and that's it. But then it'd be kind of like you say, where's he been gone all this time?
Yeah.
Stuff like that, and then just open up other avenues. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Did you want Frieza to come back? I don't know. He does come back later on, but did you think this is it for his portion of the story?
Kind of thought this is it, but I was alright with him coming back at that point. I was like, yeah, it's alright, I guess.
Yeah. What, did you want more Frieza? Did you need more Frieza? What was the?
I didn't need more Frieza, but it gave me one of my favorite moments, so I was quite happy about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was that?
Him getting sliced in half, into pieces by Trunks.
Yeah. So onto that. When did you think? So actually, we'll go to Cyber Frieza first, and then we'll talk about King Cold.
All right.
Even though King Cold doesn't really do much.
No,
yeah.
Cyber Frieza was pointless. To be honest.
Yeah.
He was pointless.
I was gonna say. So man comes out right, with half his body and stuff like that, and okay, he looks a bit. I mean, guy don't look sleek no more.
Yeah,
he does look slapped together, to be honest. And he was there to job to Trunks.
Yep.
Not to cuss Trunks or anything like that, because
no.
the guy looked cool himself. But he was one of those where, okay, have you seen the raid, right?
Yeah, of course.
You seen the raid too?
Yeah.
And you know how they got the same actor back?
Yeah.
Just to have him get killed off by someone else who is totally different, and he's totally different character as well. So it didn't make sense. Why? What were you trying to do?
I have no idea. Like, the easiest way of that, they could have said it was his brother, but yeah, whatever, carry on.
Yeah, exactly. Because he didn't even, first of all, obviously actors play the same role. They can look different though, because guy had long hair, he could just cut his hair short or shave his beard, the mustache, whatever, right?
But he didn't done that.
No, exactly. You know, exactly as though he's the exact same guy that from the previous movie.
Yep.
But yeah, this is the same thing for Frieza. They're like, oh yeah, cybernetic enhancements. Don't know how much they did to boost to do anything for him, right?
Yeah.
Trunks was just like, nah, boy.
But screw this, and just murders him in like a second. Yeah.
And then King Cold's like, oh, my dear boy Trunks, very posh by the way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So you just killed my son, I see. And he's like not enraged or nothing like that. He's like, oh, by the way, can I just see your sword, right? Oh, I'm gonna try to chop you with your own sword.
Yeah, and Trunks like, nah, dog.
Nah. I mean, okay. King Cold's logic is at the time, surely this guy's not as powerful as he seems, because when we scouted him, he barely anything to show. So, if he's capable of doing this, he must be empowered by an object, like Thor's hammer, right?
Yeah.
So therefore, he must be empowered by his sword. Little did he know that Trunks could manipulate his ki.
Yeah.
as people do. So yeah, I was like, okay. What was King Cold? Yeah, did anything stand out to you other than being a taller version of Frieza?
That he was just a taller version of Frieza. Did nothing. He had a cool name, but did nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of pointless.
Okay.
We're not recommending.
I mean, who? I don't say who can argue with that. But I thought he was going to do more than he did.
Yeah, I would have thought the same, but hindsight, because I had the internet at the time, I didn't read too much into it, but I kind of gathered I didn't see any other pictures of King Cole ever again, so I don't think he's sticking around. And
okay, logical deductions all around there. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
Good on him, I guess. Yeah.
Well, he did. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But do you reckon he was also, like you're saying, one of those characters which was a means to an end? He just needed to. In fact, you didn't even need Frieza to come back. But I think that what they did was mention King Cold, so they're like, all right, well, we better have King Cold here.
Yeah. Probably one of those situations.
And then it's like, all right, we got him here. Now we're just gonna job him out.
Yeah. That's
To
probably
be fair as well. I don't like how are you gonna top the Frieza Saga epic fight. So I guess in a way it's a subversion of what you expected.
Yeah.
But I just think like King Cold was way less powerful than Frieza himself.
Yeah. Or their whole race after. Because technically, isn't Frieza the strongest one of his whole race? He's like a mutant of his race. That's why.
Yes, unless, of course, are we saying that whether Cooler exists in this continuity or not?
We have to wait until a Dragon Ball movie where they officially say he exists.
Okay. But as far as we're talking about right now, we're gonna say Cooler does not exist.
Yeah.
But if we were saying Cooler did exist, he has the fifth form, so he would be the most powerful.
Maybe, yeah. Probably, yeah. He would be realistically,
Yeah, I guess as far as logic goes, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait for that movie, man.
I think it's strange they have not had to call it in a movie yet.
I think they will though, because like he is like a fan favorite. Like you don't really hear anyone talk about BoJack, do you?
Or remember?
Yeah. Or was this Truffle? Was it not Truffle?
Turtles.
Yeah. You don't really hear anyone talk about them, do you? So
no.
But you always hear people talk about Broly or Cooler, so I reckon.
Yeah, but as far as the movies goes, they were the standouts. They were memorable.
Yeah. So I reckon.
Yeah.
Soon will be the year of Cooler.
Would you prefer Dragon Ball Super Superhero to be about Cooler rather than their Cell Max or whatever it was?
Nah, man. It kind of makes sense to sell one. That's why I allow it. Because it kind of plays to the whole point of it. Like, yeah, you're making nano machines and robots sell. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
All right. I can't argue with that logic, actually.
Yeah.
Well, okay, no. If it wasn't called Dragon Ball Super Superhero, okay, the movie that was taking place there.
Yeah.
Right, would you prefer it to be a Cooler movie?
But then, how would you explain Cooler?
Oh, it's true. Well, you do as the movies did. He just was there, and he just
but like, how do you sort of explain? Oh yeah, this is Cooler's brother, by the way. Like, I mean, not Cooler, Frieza's brother. Wait, where was his original form? Sort of, you know what I mean? There's that.
Yeah, but you say that, right? And not to. I'm just poking at you though.
Yeah.
Tights. Bulma's sister appeared out of nowhere.
Wait, did she?
Yeah, she never existed before.
No, where did she appear? Because I can't really remember her.
I think she started to appear in Super.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone's like, Bulma, you got a sister? And she's like, yeah.
You're like, oh.
And they're like, all right.
Sure, carry on.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's like a throwaway sort of thing. But like, I don't know. I think you'd have to give Cooler would need his own like better introduction than just like, oh, there's this thing in the set, like we've having this tube. It's Frieza's brother. And like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. He need a big like, I'm coming out moment sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Something, right? Something.
Yeah.
Something. All singing, all dancing.
Yeah. He'll need that.
Okay. All right. Android. Okay. 16, 17. Yeah. 16, 17, right?
Yep.
No, 18, 19. Sorry.
Yeah, 18, 19, yeah.
Yeah. The
Wait, no. 19 and 20. 17 and 18 or the twins. Yeah.
So what did you think of those two? The Dr. Gero and the fat guy.
They were not that great either, to be fair. All they really did was like beat up Yamcha. You know what I mean?
And at this point, who doesn't beat up Yamcha, right?
Exactly, you know, Yamcha's nothing. He's like bottom of the barrel, sadly, you know.
Yeah.
I liked Yamcha at one point, but you know, he's bottom of the barrel. He's nothing to call home about. Yeah, well, you know. He got killed by a Cyberman, you know, he's nothing. He's not that hard to beat.
I will say, okay, so do you prefer the look of 19 and 20 to the look of 17 and 18?
Nah, I prefer 17 and 18.
Well, when you look at it from an overall point, like a non knowing what's going in the future sort of point of view,
yeah,
I think the designs for 19 and 20 kind of look a bit more of that universe.
Yeah,
whereas
they look
17 and 18,
yeah,
they look like teenagers in the mall, or not, you know.
But
they the clothing's really casual.
But this is if I'm going to make the Terminator reference.
Okay.
Like 19 and 20 are kind of like the old model where they're not like infiltrators or anything like that. When you got 17, 18, they're infiltrators. That's why you just like teenagers, and they don't have like globes on their hands, and if you knock off their hat, you can see their skull, sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, I prefer their kind of look. I get like the flamboyant look of 19 and 20, but once you see the others, like, what were you thinking? Why did you go backwards in design? And you're meant to be like a genius, you know. Who does that? Well,
what do you mean, the Dr. Gero character, or do you mean like Toriyama?
No, the Dr. Gero character, like,
right.
going like in kayfabe universe, thinking, like, oh, you're not the most cleverest of man.
Yeah, I like you're saying. I think 20 and 19, if they were the star villains of that saga, they would have probably got more of a power boost or something like that. Yeah. But I think they were saying that Toriyama's editor was like, "Excuse me, this old geezer and this rotund man.
Yeah,
nah, man, do something else." And then he came up with the teenagers, and I'm like, yeah, you gotta change that as well, mate.
Yeah,
I mean that's why it's like editors, anyways. Yeah. What did you think of the? So you're saying there's not much to 20 and 19, right?
No.
I don't think they. But if they extended the saga with them, would you think they'd be more memorable, or would you? It's because they just got their backstabbed and thrown out into trash that they didn't.
Yeah, I think like you couldn't really go further with them anyway, because
they knew their place.
Yeah,
they knew their roles and they shut them out.
Yeah, they were just throw you in. You're here to die, and then we'll carry on, sort of thing.
Yeah, I have to say, I think Android 18 is more memorable than 17, but that's because I think she got more stuff to do later on.
Yeah.
And she broke Vegeta. Vegeta powered up, and she's like, "Nah, boy, let me break your arm."
She did the most, and then 17 doesn't really get his like redemption of how good of a character he is until like Super.
Well, yeah, I mean, the only memorable thing about 17 is his Piccolo fight.
Yeah, and that's it. And then him getting like blindsided by Cell and
yeah.
I don't know.
I don't. Yeah, like you say, I don't. I don't think either of those two have great personalities at this point. They're just there to, oh yeah, well we're gonna kill Goku.
Yeah.
Kind of, maybe, I don't know.
16 has more personality than them because he kind of like he is a character of conflict. Like he doesn't want to fight, but he's made to kill Goku. Yeah.
Yeah. 17, 18 have more to do in the future because they're more like, okay, this is what we are and we embraced it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We embraced our full potential of evilness.
Yeah.
Yeah. But as far as like, okay, as far as the Saiyan Saga to the Namek Saga to the Frieza Saga goes,
yeah,
I think it was a natural progression of story.
Yeah.
Where this is just like stopgap, because the villains didn't necessarily level up between as far as power levels, yes, but as not necessarily threat level, but as characters, they're just like, yeah, we're just gonna have that thing. Oh, it didn't work. Oh, we do that thing. All right, we do. Okay, they do that thing. You know.
Yeah.
I think we'll get
like
to
my favorite. Well, not this. This and the Cell Saga are like my favorite sagas because like so much goes on in a little amount of time, and I kind of like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I wouldn't say necessarily it's filler or anything like that, but it just seems like the villains are the characters before are so different from the characters afterwards. The only thing that's similar is that they're all mechanical of to some degree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all sort of created by the same person. That's the only like connection they really have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what did you think of Cell when he appeared?
At first, I was like, "Who's this little crap?" Like, the first Cell, I was like, oh, "This looks terrible."
Yeah.
And then the more and more you watch of Cell, you're like, "Oh wow, this dude is like, he's like a poet and stuff. Like, he's a lot like flamboyant and more like character driven than like some of the other villains they've had already. Like." He knows he's gonna destroy the world and stuff, but he's like really elegant about it, and I really like that about him.
Yeah, yeah. He's like, okay, my purpose is to absorb these other androids, empower myself, and like, suck down the Ginger Town.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's yeah. I mean, there's no need to be uncouth about it.
No. He has a way with words, you know.
What did you think? Okay, of his forms.
I liked Perfect Cell.
Super Perfect Cell or perfect, like just normal Perfect Cell?
Normal Perfect Cell, because like Super Perfect Cell is a bit too like bulky, you know. So,
Yeah. So there's Imperfect Cell.
Yep.
Semi-Perfect Cell.
Yeah.
Perfect Cell and Super Perfect Cell.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like it's the version where he's got a beak, but semi kind of like a beak but not beak thing.
Yeah.
I think that's the Imperfect Cell. It just looks like some sort of lizard.
Yeah. Some sort of lizard weird moth thing, yeah, because of how like wings and all that.
Yeah, exactly. Like he could have, sized up to fight Godzilla.
Yeah, it's like I don't get what you're trying to be.
Yeah,
yeah.
And Semi-Perfect Cell with his really odd mouth and nose.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Oh, okay, I don't get this either.
Yeah, I didn't understand it either. I'm like, okay.
I mean, Perfect Cell, yes, and like you're saying, Semi-Perfect, Super Perfect Cell, too bulky. Look, Perfect Cell looks sleek.
Yeah, it's like the final product of something good. Yeah,
but when you kind of, other than his personality, would you say it's very similar to the Frieza Saga, where you have different forms and then level up and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Other than Frieza is powering from down to up, no, he's unlocking his levels towards going to his max, which is his normal form.
I think by this point, I was like, oh, this is a Dragon Ball thing. Actually, not even Dragon Ball. This is like media in general at this point. You're watching cartoons or kids stuff. It's like everything has a transformation to get to a powerful stage. I'm just with it now. I'm not gonna question it. Just like, oh, cool. This has got a new form. they're selling toys, sort of thing. That's how I kind of
Yeah.
was conditioned to at that point. Because I think I was watching Gundam at the time as well, and they just got their Gundam Wing at the time, and they just got their second Zords, not Zords, their second Gundam. I was like, okay, cool, I'm alright with this. Yeah.
Are we counting Babidi and what's the other one? Yeah, are we counting them as like? Are we speak about them, or do we skip straight to Majin Buu?
You could quickly speak about them.
Okay,
they do
yeah.
nothing really.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like, not to dismiss them as villains, but they kind of like.
Because I think they kind of intention. Well, Bobbity is kind of intentional to the plot, so yeah, we can speak about him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bobbity, he was a wizard. He was alright.
Yeah, well, he's a bit more like saying, fresh as a character because he's magic and stuff like that.
Yeah, like okay,
everyone else
from aliens to sci-fi Terminator ripoffs. Well, alien ripoffs to Terminator ripoffs to wizard. Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
How to get to here? I don't know.
Yeah, but at this point, how can you deny anything else? You know?
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know what? This is the more credible thing out of all the things they've done. So yeah, okay, sure. Yeah.
Well, with world of animal perfect dogs and cats and animals and stuff like that, which in Z you don't see much of for some strange reason.
No, you don't, which is weird.
Yeah, and a character who has no nose.
Yeah.
And a talking turtle.
Yeah. A old
dude
man who can turn a wedge out of nowhere. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, he was a bit fresher. I don't think he just didn't. I wouldn't say he necessarily do much for me, but he was a means to an end because he was like, "Oh, we're gonna get Majin Buu and stuff like that."
Yeah.
So you knew he wasn't.
Yeah.
He's going to be significant, but also insignificant at the same time.
Yeah. He's gonna die very soon, and there we go.
yeah, exactly. He's gonna get too cocky for his own good.
Yep.
Doing what boasting. Even though when you look at him, he's like a yellow snail-looking thing, right?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. What did you think of Deborah?
Deborah. I thought he was gonna be in a bit longer. I didn't mind him.
Yeah.
But yeah, he kind of went out like a chump.
Yeah. Well.
Wait, did he? Wait. Boo kills him, innit? Yeah.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
What could they have done with him? Do you reckon?
Nothing, if I'm honest.
to you, he was like trash. Yeah.
Like he was good, but it's like, yeah, what can you do with him afterwards?
He was more of the heavy, right? He was definitely just the muscle for Deborah. And
like, it's kind of bad because they kind of talk about like he's the demon king and all this stuff, blah blah blah. Yeah. And then he dies and nothing comes after it. It's like, okay, he's dead. Oh, sure, I guess. Great. Oh. Awesome.
I think it's one of those things where you're like, did he make a lasting impression? Only because of how hyped up he's supposed to be.
Yeah. And
what he turned out to be like.
Yeah. Because like he comes in doing like some like major moves. Like he turns Piccolo and Krillin to stone. He kind of has like a decent fight with Gohan and all that, but then he just gets chomped out.
Okay, Majin Buu, this guy.
Are we gonna go transformation by transformation or?
We could. How do we cover all of that? Let's do the overall character.
Because
and then speak about specific way he looks and stuff like that, because. Yeah, this guy has quite a bit of transformations. Yeah,
like technically, Fat Buu, isn't really a bad guy.
No,
so
he's just like the Hulk, right? He's just wanted to do stuff, and then people just get in his way ish.
Yeah.
And he doesn't understand how all he wants to do is eat. He's a simpleton. But not an idiot.
No, he just wants to be left alone, sort of thing. Yeah. And then, he does his thing. Super Buu?
Yes, the buffed up version, yeah. Wait, hold on, there's a Kid Buu next.
No, I think it's Super Buu. Then Kid Buu's the last form.
Oh, okay.
But then,
yeah.
there's like dullard Super Buu, and then there's clever Super Buu.
Yeah. And would you say Buhan as well as one? Would you count him as one as well?
That's what I was thinking, because that's when he becomes kind of like a smarter version.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm just cast it as one Super Buu. Yeah, Super Buu was awesome.
Yeah.
Like
This. Go on.
I would say like he done like human annihilation wave or desolation, whatever like version you want to watch, and like try to make it sound less evil than it is. Yeah, stuff like that was awesome.
Yeah. Wait, this is the one where Piccolo's like, oh no. He's trying to get the kids time to train in the spirit of room and time for their fusion or whatever it is, right? And then he's like, no, I tell you what, Boo, how about you try to kill the rest of the world first?
Yeah.
Because you like that sort of thing. And he's like, in his mind, he's like, I always just resurrect them with the Dragon Ball, so it's not an issue, right?
Yeah.
And Boo's like, oh yeah, like you say, I'm just gonna. All right, I tell you what I'll do. Yeah, I'll just wipe out. You got a good point, Piccolo. I enjoy this being a good fight. Here we go. Boom.
Yeah. And then he just puts his hand up in the air, and just kills like 99% of the human population. Like, oh wow, he just
And Piccolo is like, damn. I kind of indirectly murdered so many people.
Yeah, like sure, that's on my conscience now. Awesome.
Yeah. Even though I'm gonna bring them back, yeah, but. Yeah.
But still, in that many seconds, oh wow, this too just he called my bluff. He called my bluff. Oh. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, he was great.
Yeah, I did like it. Okay. So when Gohan powered up,
yeah,
but at this point, Buu absorbed Gotenks, which is the fusion of Trunks and Goten.
Yeah.
And they defused this. He also absorbed Piccolo.
Yeah.
So, but he was taking the traits of the most powerful person that he absorbed there. And when Trunks and Goten defused, the most powerful person there was Piccolo. And then, I was like, okay, Gohan there, getting his shine, beating the crap out of what's it called? Well, no, did he get beat up? No. Actually, I think when he first appeared, he just a super cocky and just beat up on Buu.
Yeah, he just beat up on Buu. And then, instead of killing Buu straight away, he decides that he's going to do a Vegeta and play around with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
then he absorbs everyone.
Yep. And then that's when he gets his crap kicked out of him.
Yeah. Do you think would have been made more sense for Gohan to get the final victory in this saga? Because everything from the 7-year time skips was kind of like building Gohan.
Yeah.
And Goku got his Super Saiyan level 3, fair enough, and stuff like that. But it's just like one of those things where you're thinking, he didn't need to take the victory. He could have been in the background building a spirit bomb.
I don't know. No, that would have been kind of lackluster.
Well,
I think, like, me personally, again, this is what I've been told, and it got changed. Dragon Ball Z was meant to finish this time after Cell. Like, it was meant to finish after Cell, and that's why they killed Goku off and all that stuff. Yeah. And it was meant to end like that. And then people wanted more, so they wanted Goku, so they brought back. Actually, no. Halfway through the Buu Saga, their fans were like, "Oh, we want Goku to do more," and that's why they kind of rewrote it for Goku to win and all this stuff. So that's
how memorable was Buu for you? I kind of like you're saying I think his different forms add to his personality because they're all different each time, and they get, I want to say, more intelligent or not intelligent, but like meaner.
Meaner, and they all have like reasons why they're the way they are. So
even though it's the same guy, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like it's like the Hulk.
Yeah.
It's all personalities within the same guy.
Yeah, which is hilarious. But I kind of like enjoyed it. Like the reason why Fat Buu was like mellow and stuff, because it absorbed some Kai that was like really happy and jolly.
Yeah.
And then Kid Buu, like shows like pure evil as children. That might sound really bad how I put it, but he's evil because he's a child and they have no sense of right and wrong, so he just destroys, which makes sense. Which I thought was pretty clever.
Yeah.
But yeah, like
Just
Boo's
like Savage Hulk, by the way.
Yeah. But yeah, Boo's one of my favorite villains of the Z sagas.
Yeah. Would you say so ranking wise? No, okay, You obviously can't rank them, but let's just because there's a lot of them, right?
Yeah.
But what would you say are the most memorable ones to you? But see, here's the thing. I would say some ones are memorable because of the story build, rather than
the story itself.
I remember them because of, like, if we were doing the movie villains, and like you're saying, we only remember Broly and Cooler because they seem to be the coolest ones.
Yeah.
But I think, like you're saying, we'll probably remember Majin Buu more and Frieza more, and Vegeta more because of how the particular parts they played.
Yeah.
And the extended length of their stories.
Yeah. The ramifications of their story.
Yeah. You say like Breaking Bad Hardy.
Yeah. I don't know why I did that as well. But yeah, that's how it kind of feels, yeah. And I like that. That.
Would you say that Frieza is currently? We'll probably separate Dragon Ball Super and we'll do the Dragon Ball movie villains as well at some point.
Yeah.
But did when Frieza came back for Resurrection F? Did you think, okay, that's going to be the end of that?
No, I kind of thought they'd bring him back for a reason.
Actually, hold on. Let's so Battle of Gods,
the
movie, and Resurrection F are still Dragon Ball Z movies, by the way.
Yeah, they are, strangely. Yeah.
So we can still go to there.
Yeah.
I don't think like Beerus is kind of memorable, but I don't. He was less a villain and more of a force of nature ish sort of thing. It's like, look, this is my job. I'm going to do it. Hey. Yeah. I don't hold no grudges. No. It is what it is, and I'm here to fight. So I'm gonna be a bit cruel or whatever. I'm gonna slap Bulma, but hey,
Yeah, no, I agree with that. He's not really villain, and plus
but he's intended to come in there to progress the story rather than this is my section of the story.
Yeah, and he's basically as well more of a. I'm gonna help set up the future of this franchise. Yeah, as technically the underboss or sub-boss, whatever it is. Yeah.
So when Frieza got come back in Resurrection F the movie, what did you think of that? What did you think? Yeah.
Even though I don't know if I prefer. I was gonna say I prefer the Dragon Ball Super version of it, but I don't know. But and I did like how Frieza came back. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I think at that point it was a long while, like what, 20 years?
20 years, yeah.
Yeah. So no, was it closer to 25? Wait, hold on. When did the Resurrection F come out?
2015, I think, was it? Wait, no, can't be 2015. I think that might be 2005. Wait, 1 second.
That it might, here's the thing. You might be right. It's just us thinking it can't be that far back. But that's how long things have been going for.
Yeah, which is, oh god, man, we got Resurrection. 1 second, I'll find out. I think it might be. I don't know.
Jeez. Yeah, I didn't mind him coming back.
Yeah, 2015. Yep.
It kind of made sense. It's like the Frieza Empire still being around all this time, whatever. But if you're starting a new, if you're gonna reboot, if you're gonna have the continuation of Dragon Ball, might as well bring back one of the key villains for the fans.
Even though I did find it funny, like really, so like I want to say, 20 years and in their times about 15, 20 years. And the Frieza Force is still around, and none of them have came into contact with him. It's a bit weird, but all right, sure, I guess.
I did get the logic of Frieza. Well, okay, see, when they turn golden,
they
defeated me. Therefore, I will train for
Become
a
golden
handful of
too.
months.
Yeah.
Yeah. And become gold, yeah. And yeah, and I'll show them. And then they go blue, and he's like, okay, well.
Like, oh, that makes sense.
I think I do like it as well that he's decided what he's going to do is just keep his level form and not just go back to his base ones afterwards. And not his base ones, but his cap forms, because he's like, F that. I don't need that no more.
Yeah, I'm so glad they've done that. He just stays in his, I want to say perfect form, but yeah, he's
Yeah.
purple and white.
Yeah, and I did like as well when he reappeared in Hell, wherever it was. He was in his cyborg form.
Yeah.
Like, all right, continuity nods here. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I was like, okay, that makes sense. But then I was like, but it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I was like, why would you be resurrected? Unless it's one of those, even that, I was about to say, I was kind of like nearly logic in my head, but it doesn't make no sense. I'm going to say, unless when you go to like their heaven or whatever, you go back in the form you want to go back in. But then like, but why would you pick, you want to spend the rest of your immortal days in that form?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know because did Goku get sent? Like, he got blasted through the heart.
Yeah.
And he didn't appear in heaven. All that was healed there.
Yes, I'm saying that's what I was like. This make no sense.
Right, and by the way, did they never talk about the origins of the heart virus that Goku had?
No.
Conveniently timed so other people could take control of the story. If it seemed to me, it's like, oh yeah, well, we can't kill Goku, we can't have him get beat up because he's the main character, right? So let's just have him a convenient heart virus that we don't know where about and just write it in. But my own head logic, I'm going to say, oh, it's probably something to do with when Piccolo drilled him through the heart with the special beam cannon, right?
It could be, or if you want to be proper, like weird about it, you can say, because of his weird diet, it could have done it. Who knows? Yeah.
Cholesterol.
Yeah, it could have been. That would have been a better way to put it. To be fair, though. He got like high cholesterol, and that's what kind of killed him. That would have made more. That'd be more funny, but that would have scared kids for real life. So yeah, makes sense.
All right, cool. All right. So let's cap off this end of these villains because it's Z. We'll finish that.
Yeah.
And then we'll do some other bits on the rest of the other villains. Have you how much of Dragon Ball have you watched?
Not much.
Enough to do a whole thing on their villains, no?
I know like the rough points about them. So
well, we might tag it in at the end of something then. In that case,
that makes sense. Yeah. That makes sense.
Okay, but so that is that'll be us, I guess, signing off for this episode.
A quick question though: are we going to do GT villains? As we don't actually know if GT's canon anymore.
Should we decide that later?
Yeah, decide that later.
Because the movies aren't canon, and we're still going to do them.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think with the movies, they got definitive villains for each of their particular sections. But I guess what we'll do, we'll call it because
unless
it might be we could do if we finish the movie, if we do the movie villains and we're like there's not enough, we're going to tag the GT villains at the end of that.
Or if anything, because Dragon Ball isn't that long itself, is it?
Yeah.
You just put them.
Well, yeah, no, you're gonna watch 400 episodes of something.
Wait, Dragon Ball itself is 400 episodes.
It's probably 140 or something like that.
Is it?
Right?
For some reason, I thought it was a lot less than that. Okay. Oh.
I'm not sure, but I don't think there's a Kai version of it.
No, I don't think there is. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm the man who destroyed Planet Vegeta with one finger, Siwai Chang.
And I am the reincarnation of my father, who was a wizard, who had a similar name, Carl Charles. That's a quote to Bobbity. Bibbidi and Bobbity. Oh, God. That was names in a TV show. Yes, and thank you for listening to us discuss the Dragon Ball Z villains. Was you a Dragon Ball? I'm gonna say, was you a Dragon Ball fan? Everyone's a Dragon Ball fan, if you're the same age as. Actually, no. Even lots of young kids like Dragon Ball. Oh, you're right. Yeah. Dragon Ball is 151 episodes. Oh wow. Yeah. Okay. Let us know, and you can do that by leaving a comment down below. If you're watching on YouTube, send us a tweet, an Instagram message, an email, and we will discuss it too. We can probably ponder about it. And also, don't forget to share this with your friends. Give us a like, a review, helps us grow like our power levels. Yeah. And also most importantly, who was your favorite Dragon Ball villain? Dragon Ball Z villain, sorry. Was it Frieza? A lot of people do like Frieza. Strangely.
Yeah. Was it Cell? Was it Boo? I mean, they have different enough personalities to make them stand out.
Yeah.
Maybe you enjoyed the Ginyu Force as a bunch.
Exactly. Even though all the villains have really weird, similar motives, like we're gonna destroy the Earth. Okay.
Yeah, or some of them we want power because we can.
Yeah. Well,
and that's Frieza. It's like, the Super Saiyan Legend will kill me, so I better kill all the Saiyans first.
Yeah. Well, okay. How about just being nicer to him?
Yeah.
He may have survived, but okay, sure.
Yeah.
Just let us know. And once again, I'd like to thank you all for taking a trip with us around this very large, ever-expanding multiverse. Bye.
Bye.
I did not see Cell make even the slightest effort to deflect Vegeta's attack. He just absorbed it. And it appears he suffered no damage to himself whatsoever. I fear the difference in their powers has grown too wide for Vegeta to overcome.
Oh, what's wrong? What happened to all that bravado? What are you? I put everything I had into that attack. You should be dead. Are you finally beginning to understand, Vegeta? The power of perfection?